we are having this session once again. I think few of you are joining this for the first time and few of you are joining this for the second time. The purpose of the session is going to be to address anything under the sun apart from question solving, which actually bogs you down at times, which actually makes you feel demotivated or create any kind of a dilemma in your mind which eventually impacts your preparation. If all of you after this session can feel pumped up, can feel that no matter what happens, 99.5 plus score is something which is waiting for you, and you are ready to put every effort needed to achieve that, I think the purpose of this session will be fulfilled. Now, this is going to be more of an interactive session. There is no slide, there is no document which I am going to present. There is nothing like that. I've just opened this whiteboard so that if you have any if you have any specific pointers in your mind which you want me to address, you can shoot them down and we can ensure that we do not miss any of those pointers. So any concern which you have in mind, if you have started taking mocks, you are getting low score in mocks, you are not getting time because of your work, you are not able to formulate a study plan, whatever it is, just shoot it down and we'll try to address them. Any specific concerns which you want me to address? You all can take a couple of minutes, think and shoot it. And I hope all of you have been added to the WhatsApp group. All the new batch students also have been added to the WhatsApp group. Projal, anything which you think is bogging you apart from few things here and there in verbal? Ritu, if you think there is something which demotivates you? Sandeep, Saurabh, Shashank. Srinivasan, Surya. Okay. So one problem is on the time management side from exam perspective. Low scores. Okay. I will term it as something on the lines of consistency. Shashank, just message me your number. I'll add you. Okay. Okay. Amarjit, don't worry on that front. I think you will be starting off classes from this batch. So just don't worry, as the classes move on, your confidence on the respective topics is going to increase. If you feel that all sections are weak, I think it's more of a conceptual problem which you are facing, and I think that will be addressed by the classes. Please ensure that you are attending all the classes, as well as in case you happen to miss a class, you are watching a recording, and if you have any doubt, you are not keeping it to you but getting it resolved ASAP. Ritu, to ensure that motivation is maintained throughout, we keep these sessions approximately once in once every month. We may increase its frequency if you all will think that you need such sessions more. Okay, and don't worry on those mocks test series, it's just a big hoopla around them. They are nothing but a mode of practice for you to finally ensure that you are scoring high in the exam. So I'll just say another 30 seconds for you, all of you, to add some of more your concerns, some more of your concerns, and then we can start. Right, Paras, fear of failure. Many of us have this. But see, fear of failure is something you can take it both ways. It could either become your biggest demotivating factor, or it could also become your biggest motivating factor. It's all about how you want to read it. It's more or less, whether the glass is half full or half empty. Right, Amarjit, I'm pretty sure as we move ahead and you attend classes, your problem of the confidence, feeling that you are weak in concepts, everything is going to get addressed. But you need to ensure that you are solving all the assignments within time, as suggested in the class. And once you have solved those assignments, you analyze them with the solutions, and if you have any doubts, you are getting them cleared and not keeping your doubts pending. So that is the way to address what the level of confidence, the accuracy level, the conceptual hold. Right, Paras. See, I'll just come to that point. So I think most of your concerns of everyone who is present in this session revolves around these broad 6 points which I have mentioned. Right? So let us start off. Let us start off first from the bottommost point. Fear of failure. What is fear of failure? Is it something which you are feeling afraid because what others are going to say? What your parents are going to say? What your relatives are going to say? What your friends are going to say? Is it because of that? Tell me, anyone, Amarjit, Paras, Projal, Ritu, if fear of failure creeps in, who is the source of that? Who? You are afraid of whom? People, you think that people will judge you? Srinivasan, what do you think? What actually brings in this fear of failure in you? Okay. Let me make this point very clear to all of you as you are moving ahead in your MBA journey. MBA is not a make or a break of anything in your life. If you want to achieve X in your career, MBA is just one of the possible multiple paths to reach there. It is not that if you cannot do MBA, you will not be able to reach your ultimate career path. Doing MBA is not a career goal of anyone out here. If any one of you think that doing MBA is your career goal, you are having a very wrong approach in your mind. Doing MBA is not a goal. Doing MBA is a path to reach your ultimate career goal. And if God forbid MBA does not happen, there would be some other path out there which will be carved out to reach your career goal. So do not think this way that what will you achieve in future, what will you achieve in your life if you cannot do MBA. Are you getting my point? Right, Sandeep, to an extent. Okay, Paras. So as far as this point is concerned, that what I will do in future, I think you should know, or probably you should realize by now, or probably you will agree to me in some more time if you are not agreeing with me right now, that MBA is just a career path. MBA is not a goal of anyone. What do we see MBA as? We see MBA that we will land up into a finance job of our investment banking, or we will get into FMCG marketing or some big consulting. That is what and you want to reach there quicker, and that is why you want to pursue MBA. Am I right? Do you think that non-MBAs do not become high bankers? There are huge number of people who have not done MBAs. They have done very well in their core finance side, masters in finance, CFA certificates, and without an MBA, and they have become a very successful iBanker even without an MBA. There are people who have carved out very good and strong careers in marketing despite not even being an engineer. Forget about being an MBA. Today, the person who heads marketing for Arihant in India, he is not even an engineer, not even an MBA. Just because out of his creativity, out of his connects, and out of those core skills which are needed to build a career in marketing, he has reached that position, and he is among very young people who heads that particular position. So what I'm trying to say is, while MBA might look as a shorter path to reach a particular goal, do not think that if you cannot do MBA, you cannot reach that career goal. Do all of you agree with this? Is MBA a path or MBA a career goal? There is no career out there which cannot be achieved without MBA. People talk about consulting. I know people who have done normal masters, masters in science or something, and they have done certain other activities around that, and they've ended up as subject area consultants in companies like ENY, PwC, KPMG, Deloitte, etc. So, whether it be consulting, whether it be finance, whether it be marketing, you can always carve out a path for yourself to achieve your career goal if you are serious enough to achieve that career goal. That career is your aim. MBA or no MBA will have a very minute impact. It will not have a major impact. Do you get my point? Do you enjoy your studies? See, I used to enjoy my studies while preparing CAT, and then I used to take out leisure time, and I used to ensure that I am watching movies, I am watching cricket, or I am reading any stuff which I like. See, journey will become very serious and boring if you will make it that way. Journey will be very fun filled and worth remembering your entire life that I prepared this way for MBA if you want it to be that way. Ensure that you are taking out some time for things which make you forget about your work, which make you forget about your MBA preparation, which make you forget about your past breakups, whatever it is. I see people, they stop studying because they have had a breakup. I see people, they stop working because they are not getting appraisals in office. These are not the reasons. I see people who stop going out for movies, who stop going out with their friends because of XYZ reasons, that I'm preparing, I'm having this issue with my office, I'm having this issue with my girlfriend, with my boyfriend. No. Whatever it is, you have to move on. Whether it is work related issue, whether it is personal life related issue, whatever it is very important for you to take out time for yourself. My point is, the bottom line is, one, there is nothing like fear of failure. If fear of failure was because MBA you were thinking as your goal, now you know that MBA is your career path. If it is because of your relatives, your friends, your society pressure, tell me one thing. Do you think 5 years down the line, if you are doing very well in your life, very well, will any of these society people come to you and say something good about you? They will move to some other house where the person is not doing that good. Societies, relatives, and all these people, they are only meant to point at you when you are not doing good. They never come and appreciate you when you are doing good. Am I right? Have you observed this? My mausi comes and says this, my bua comes and says this, कि उसके बच्चे ने ऐसा कर दिया, उसके बच्चे ने ऐसा कर दिया, only when I am not doing good. So why do bother about those people who are not with you when you are doing good and their work is only to create a gossip? Are you working for them? Are you studying for them? No. You are doing it for yourself. Am I right? You are doing it to achieve your dream of achieving something in life. Am I right? This is your dream. Follow it like your dream. If you will follow it like the dream of your dad, dream of your sister, dream of your friend, dream of your relative, dream of your Sharma auntie, no. You will not be able to achieve it. MBA has to be your dream. And the moment it becomes your dream, there is nothing like fear of failure. Because the moment it becomes my dream, I know no matter what happens, I am going to achieve it. And if I am going to achieve it, why should I be afraid? Rather, I should be very confident, pumped up, boosted, positive attitude, determined, focused, that this is something meant for me. I see people, wondering about that this college has these many seats, this college has these many seats. You tell me, does it matter to you that a college has 60 seats or 400 seats? Will you take 10 seats out of 400 and will you be able to take just 1 seat out of 60? Or irrespective of 60 or 400, you will always be just taking 1 seat. You will be always taking only 1 seat, right? So say to yourself that even if a college has 1 seat, that seat is meant for me. That is a kind of positive attitude, determination, and confidence which should be there in each and every one of you out there. Forget society, forget friends, forget peers, forget relatives, forget your neighbors. That is your dream. MBA is your dream. It should pump in confidence in you. If any dream is demotivating you, chuck that dream out. Your dream will never demotivate you. Your dream will always motivate you. The reason is, if I dream, it gives me the confidence. It removes any fear from me. There are so many examples of successful people out there. Had Virat Kohli thought about what others will think about his attitude on the field, he would have not become aggressive in nature on ground. He would have become mild. Would he have been successful with a passive attitude on ground? If Harsha Bhogle would have thought that I have done MBA from IIM Ahmedabad, I will not go and become a commentator. What if I fail? What if what my chachi will say, what my mausi will say? No, he did not think about that, because becoming commentator was his dream. Being aggressive on ground is the only way which gives confidence to Virat Kohli to do well. So the bottom line is, the dream is always yours. The positive attitude, the confidence which having a dream gives to you is within yourself, and it will never demotivate you. The fear of failure only comes when we start thinking about those parameters which do not matter at the end of the day. Like I think Paras mentioned, one of the concerns, that what if I don't score 99? Okay, I'll not score 99. I'll score 98. I'll go to FMS and MDI. I will not go to some XYZ IIM. But does that mean that a guy in FMS cannot achieve what something a guy in IIM Ahmedabad is achieving? I have seen IIM guys getting fired from big corporates within 1 year. I have seen Accelerate HR guys getting fired and then not getting a job for a year. But a guy from a college like IMT, IMI doing very well. It is never about your percentile. It is always about how you approach. What is your attitude? Do you see your 98 percentile with a very positive energy? Or do you want to even cry at 99.5 that I could not get 99.9? So Paras, Harshit, Amarjeet, anyone out there, don't think about percentile. Never get into an examination hall with a specific percentile in your mind. Your objective should be only one while you are getting into an examination hall. That is to maximize your marks. Maximize your marks. Maximize them to the best possible extent. If you can do that, percentile is something which is automatically taken care of. We all have an idea that what percentile comes around what percentage of marks. Am I achieving that landmark? Am I able to solve 60%? Am I able to get 60% absolute marks in a paper? If you get 60% absolute marks in any competitive exam, you are obviously going to score a very high percentile. Do you agree with this? Whatever I have said? Never get into an exam targeting a percentile. If you want to target something, target a percentage of absolute marks. That today, out of 24 questions in a section, I will get 16 correct. Then whether you attempt 16 and get 16 correct, or whether you attempt 21 and get 16 correct, but you should get 16 correct. Percentile is determined relatively. But how does that relative stuff comes up? It comes up with the absolute marks of each and every student. If I am scoring 60% in a paper like CAT, trust me, 99 percentile has gone nowhere. Now, depending upon the difficulty level of that particular year, I can land up into 99.9, I can land up 99.5, I can land up 99.2. That is why when people ask me that how much percentile should they target, I tell them don't target a percentile. And if you want to target a percentile, target 100 percentile. Why do you target 99 percentile? What is stopping you from scoring 100? Nothing is stopping you, right? So target 100 percentile. And for that, you know the only way is to score as much as possible in the exam, which will happen only when while taking the exam you are not thinking that how much I have got correct, but you are thinking that whatever I have solved it correctly, and I am moving faster and faster to the remaining questions, and I will be solving them correctly with as high accuracy as possible. Does this make sense? Paras, does this address your query of fear of 99 and then coming back again? Do you agree with whatever philosophy I am sharing with you? You must have heard this gyan, a lot of places, but I keep it very practical. So coming to your question, I think I missed one question which Ritu asked. What is the difference between a goal and a dream? Dream can be both tangible and intangible. Goal will always be tangible. Goal is always time bound. Dream does not need to be time bound. Dream is completely yours. Goal, you might have taken the goal as a hybrid of the external factors. Dream is a much bigger picture. For example, if my dream is to run a big company 10 years down the line, I will break it down into different small goals. That is why instead of getting into the words like goals, I say what is your long-term goal, and then you just break that long-term goal into short-term goals. Right, Amajit? Exactly, that's what I just said. You live for your dream. You don't live for your goals. So, Ritu, your dream could be that I want to leave an impact in my own way in marketing sector. That is your dream. To achieve this, you will make different goals. But you are ultimately living for your dream. Anyone else? Any questions so far around fear of failure? Anyone wants to add anything? Can I say that I am having 11 fearless participants in this session right now? With no fear of failure, with only one voice inside them that mauling cat this year is something meant for them, and nothing is going to stop you from mauling cat this year. Ah, Conjuring is not even a horror movie. ठीक है. Moving ahead, what it takes from 98 to 99.5 to be very true in terms of the quality of a student. There is no difference between a 98 percentiler and a 99.5 percentiler. The only difference happens that on the day of the exam, how much calm you were in your question selection, how much wiser you were in your question selection, and how much have you learned from your past mocks and attempts which you have done, that you ignored those silly mistakes. That is the only difference. The only difference between a 99 percentiler and a 99.5 percentiler is upon keeping your head calm, how much focused could you remain for the duration of the exam. A person who remains calm throughout the duration and chooses the questions wisely ends up being a 99.5. A person who could remain calm and focused for around 75 to 80% of the time ends up into the 98 percentile zone. Because one thing is sure shot, a person who scored 98, he has the capability, he has the metal to score 99.9 as well. The only matter was he needed to solve few more questions correctly or few lesser questions incorrectly. Do you agree with this? So, how do I prepare for that? I scored 98 last year, I want to score a 99.5 this year. How do I prepare myself? You will prepare yourself by analyzing a 1 hour test for 3 hours. Because once you analyze a 1 hour test for 3 hours, you get to learn lot of stuffs. You never learn by giving a mock, by taking a mock. You always learn by analyzing a mock. Anyone who is taking 100 mocks without analyzing them is doing no good to him. But a person who is just solving 25 mocks and analyzing them in depth, he is doing a lot of good to himself. Once you analyze, you understand which question you could have solved with a shorter method. Once you analyze, you get to know what mistakes you could have avoided, what thought process made you do that mistake, and what you could have thought instead to avoid that mistake. And that is where this incremental increase will happen in your score, which will take you from 98 to 99.5. Paras, we will have a dedicated session on mock analysis this week. And we will take one of your CL mocks and let you know how to analyze it. So in case any one of you wants to pick up CL mock of this season, please mail us the PDF of that CL mock and we will take that mock up and teach you how to analyze it. Not teach, guide you on how to analyze it. We will give a complete dedicated session on question selection in a mock, on analysis of a mock, everything from attempt to analysis. CL mock is career launcher. The mock test series of career launcher. Sorry. Right. So do you understand now? Do you have some idea that what kind of effort do you need to put to move from 98 to 99.5 and it is not an uphill task, my friends. You can very easily do. You have more than 4 months in hand. Trust me, good 20 mock analysis can take you from 98 to 99.9. I have seen people moving from a 70 percentile to a 99.38 percentile. What changed? Did their aptitude change? Do you think aptitude changes that much? That 1 year I will get 70, 1 year I will get 99.9 or 99.4? No. The approach changed. The approach changed where the person started focusing more on analyzing what he is solving rather than just what he is solving. That is why I always focus that never just become happy by knowing the correct answer. Always try to understand that what could the different ways to solve it. Maybe you have solved a question correctly but you took 60 seconds. There is a method to solve that question in 30 seconds. If you can save those 30 seconds in actual exam, it will enable you to attempt one more question, which could be a matter of 0.2 percentile. Do you agree? Will you apply this approach where you focus on analysis as well? Anyone who has any question around this? We will in upcoming week we will keep a dedicated session on mock analysis. So don't worry on that front. As well as I'll share one article today which is written by one of my friends from IIM Calcutta on how to analyze mocks. Great. So how many of you are working here? And how many of you feel that there is a work pressure on you? So there is a very so usually for how many hours are you working? 10 hours. Are the 4 hours travel? Harshit, for you also. Where are you? Bangalore? Or traveling from Noida to Gurgaon? Or just stuck in the traffic of Mumbai? Okay. See, I am assuming that most of you. Okay. So Harshit, let us catch up sometime. Our office is in Gurgaon. So yes. So okay. That's huge. So I'm assuming that most of you are using office commutation for travel. Okay, Aditi. So okay. Right. So any one of you who is using metro, public transport, or office commutation, irrespective of where you are working and for how much is the travel time, you can always utilize that time to study something, to read something. As I have suggested earlier also, that if you have to leave in morning early at 6:37, right? I think I've seen you. You have been sharing that what all you are reading. That's good. So the point is, for working professionals, I guess that after coming from office, at times it becomes difficult to read. Hence, it is important that you utilize your time before leaving for office or before reaching office. And that is where you should read. This reading could be reading passages, browsing through some antonym synonyms, browsing through some GK stuff, browsing through some short quiz, and if nothing else, watching the recording of a class which you missed yesterday because you were tired after returning from office and you could not attend it. See, there are two kinds of work pressure. One is where just because of your work timings you are not able to prepare, and the other is because of the tension in office you are not able to prepare. If it is the latter, tell yourself it is just few more months. You are anyways going to get the job. Why to bother? Why to bother about your manager? Why to bother about your appraisal? Right? Anyone of you out here worrying about appraisals? Why, Paras? If you are going to do MBA this year, how does it matter? Abhi tak tha, but now it should not be. So from now on, next 4, 5, 6 months, Harshit, why don't you go for the idea where you are just focusing on your exam preparation and not going for a job which is very hectic. You can either prepare by dropping for next 4 to 5 months or try to just get a very lighter job. Maybe you can even apply to some of our openings and you can send us your resume. So on a lighter note. So anyways, we will be rolling out some internships as well and everything, plus full-time openings as well. Anyway, so coming back to this point, my point is, if I know that I'm going to do MBA coming season, I should be least bothered about what is happening in my office. I should not bother about my boss ka boss, HR, appraisal, anything. And when it comes to time management while working because of the office hours, then we have already shared one plan with you. I'll again share the link with you. You can go through that and how you can utilize your time in weekdays, during weekdays, and what change should you make in your approach during a weekend. Check this link out. I have put up a articles link here for all the working professionals to see how they can utilize their weekdays and weekends. Okay, this link you can go through after the session. Now if you go back to point number 3 of consistency, you will see that it was linked to your fear of failure. Sorry. It was linked to my fear of failure. Or if I score very high score in few marks, I get overconfident. I don't study after that. But boss, this is just 1 mark. This is not the actual exam and you have not already scored 99. I will take a point number 2 and point number 3 together. There are 2 ways where when I see people losing consistency. 1, when they are scoring low in marks. 2, when they are scoring very high in marks. A person like me, a poor soul like me, who keeps on scoring moderate marks in marks, always stays interested. or you have to set up the targets for you. From mock on mock on mock on mock. रोजल ये डर होना चाहिए. So what I mean to say is, I'll tell you what was my approach. Remember this thing. Never ask your friends how much did they score in a mock. It is always going to demotivate you if you are low scoring. And if you are a super person and your friends are not that intelligent or say not that good with mock scores, you will turn complacent. The best way is never ask your friends their mock scores. You get the ranks in mocks, you get the percentiles in mocks, you get your absolute marks in mocks. Keep them for your own improvement tracking. I want your score to improve from mock 1 to mock 2 to mock 3, so on. I don't want your mock score to be better than your friend. Are you understanding the difference? When I say I want your mock score to improve mock on mock, vis-a-vis your mock score to be better than that of your friend. I'll tell you how did I used to set my targets. There were cases where I used to score even 80 percentile in a AIMCAT. There were instances where I scored 99.5 in AIMCAT. But I never used to get flown away, with either of them. What I used to see was, what is the absolute marks I am getting? I focus a lot on absolute marks which you get, because that is where you should track your performance. If you are maintaining some Excel sheet, if you are maintaining some kind of a track to compare your scores, please do it for absolute scores. Absolute scores in terms of percentage of the maximum marks. And today, if I take a mock and I have got say just 30%, not percentile, percent, and this 30% gave me 85 percentile. If I take the next mock, what should be my target? I used to set the target that if I have scored 30% in this mock, I should score 35% in the next mock. Is it necessary that 35% in next mocks is going to be 85 or 90? It could be 80 also, right? But so you can come back and say to me, what's the benefit? You are happy that you increase your percentage, but your percentile went down. Okay, one off mock. But as we move ahead in the journey, as we move ahead in the mocks, if you will anytime observe the trends, the difficulty of level of mocks always increases from mock 1 till mock 20. Can you increase your percentage of marks in a difficult mock is what I want to say here. Do you have that kind of a determination in you that no matter what happens, no matter what the difficulty level is, I will score a 40% marks in this mock? Project, that is the second level. First level is, suppose if I am getting into a mock with the mindset that I am going to score 40%. Then I see the paper. I have the difficulty level of the previous paper in my mind. I reset my target based on the difficulty level of the paper in hand. But then I have to ensure that I am achieving my revised target. But this should be purely based on the difficulty level of the paper, not because I could not solve first 5 questions. There is a difference that paper is tough, or I am thinking that paper is tough because I could not solve 5 questions. Does that answer your question, Projal? Great. Another thing, there are people who stop studying after seeing 70 percentile in few mocks. Tell me, if you will get 100 percentile in MCAT, are you going to get an admit in a college? If you are going to get 100 percentile in a career launcher mock, is FMS going to call you? When is FMS going to call you? When is IIM Ahmedabad going to call you? When you are going to score high in the actual exam. Right? Never take mock scores as a matter of life and death. Mocks are meant for your learning. Mocks are meant to see whether you are improving continuously or not. Mocks are meant to analyze, to dive deep into your strengths and weaknesses. Never ever take mock scores as a matter of death or life. Getting my point? And the moment you start treating mock scores as just a learning, you will never ever feel down seeing a low mock score. I used to enjoy analyzing a mock where I scored less compared to a mock where I scored high, because that kept me motivated. Because a low mock score meant I have much more to learn from this mock as compared to a mock where I have scored a 99.9. Am I correct? Do you think that a mock where you scored less provides you much more learning opportunity vis-a-vis a mock where you have scored 100? If that is the case, why should I get bogged down by a low mock score? I should not be. Two things. One, mock is a part of your learning. Mock is to enable your learning. Mock is not to demotivate you. Mock's purpose is just to help you in tracking your performance throughout. One. Two, am I improving mock on mock? I don't care if I am getting a mock in with a 80 percentile, but I am actually increasing my score. Or if I have addressed few identified weaknesses from the previous mock. So for example, if I took a mock today in which I scored some XYZ marks, I ended up solving all the sentence correction questions wrong. I analyzed it. I identified that I was making an error in parallelism questions. I was making an error in questions of subject verb agreement. In the next mock, irrespective of the score which I get, have I addressed these two weaknesses of mine? Have I got the questions of parallelism and subject verb agreement correct in the next mock? If I have addressed those weak areas which I identified in my previous mock, you have all the right to be happy irrespective of your low mock score, because you are improving, and that is the purpose of the mock. Do you get it? Anyone who has any cross questions or anything around this? Amarjit, comparing with the level of CAT, I will say career launcher mocks, time mocks are way above the actual CAT level. Anyone of you who has any cross question regarding whatever I have blabbered so far? I have been speaking a lot. So yeah, we know our mocks will be there. But in addition to our mocks, I will suggest you to go for career launcher mocks as well. SimCats verbal is good. Cont and LR is not that good. Verbal is good in SimCats. Overall as a package, I see career launcher mocks to be closest to CAT level when I compare Time, Career Launcher and IMS. Anyone who has any doubt or he feels that any of your point is still unaddressed in the session? Do you feel that we have addressed few of the points which were bogging you down or which may help you preventing getting bogged down in future? Aditi, anything which you want to share as your concern? Amarjeet, Harshit, Paras, Projal, Ritu, Sandeep, Saurabh, Srinivasan. Varun, Mayashri, Surya. So can I say that if you have scored 98 last year, this year you are all set to score a 99.9 by addressing those incremental areas which we discussed? No, Surya. Profile of the company does not matter. Amarjeet, if you are comfortable, you can ask it here. Otherwise, you can ping me on WhatsApp and I can answer your personal question. Can I say that I have 14, 15, 99 percentiles here? Can I say that no matter what happens in office, no matter how much is the work pressure, everyone out here is going to take all the mocks, all the assessments, going to attend all the classes, going to watch all the recordings actively and not feel bogged down? Sandeep, in terms of sectional strategies, what you are saying? So Amarjeet, it is okay. It's not a worry. I know about Edison. It's okay. It's good. You have a job in hand, but you are still preparing and you are able to give your full time. There's no need to worry. Anyways, even if they would have given you the joining, you would have just written 4 or 5 months of experience in your form, which carries zero weightage. Any work ex less than 12 months has zero weightage. Yes, Sandeep, I will share that. Sandeep, were you in the session yesterday? So Sandeep, in terms of novel, etc., we will be sharing with you a plan in the first RC class which will happen, which is scheduled for 20th for you. That is tomorrow. Varun, I will suggest go through a section, understand the difficulty level of the section, then your approach should be first solve all the easy questions and try to see if you can, if suppose you find the paper to be of moderate difficulty level. On an average in a moderate difficulty level paper, 60% is what you need to get a 99.5 in a particular section. Keeping that number in mind and then just taking care of the difficulty level of the paper, try to tweak this number a bit. 60 can become 50, 60 can become 65, but it will never go beyond 65. My target always used to be depending upon the section and the kind of accuracy I have. Shashank, I'll just come to a query. So Varun, to answer yours, for example, if it comes to verbal, in verbal, usually none of us have more than 80% accuracy. Anyone here who has 90% accuracy in verbal? %95 accuracy in verbal? How many questions did you solve, Projal? Aditi, how much is your accuracy in verbal? Right. So, see, on an average, we enjoy a say 80% accuracy in verbal. Most of us. How to get a highest percentile? This is not Cont or LRTI where I know that I am having 95 to 100% accuracy. So I used to increase my number of attempts. Not by blindly marking the answer, but by taking certain intelligent guesses. In terms of when I'm left with, in questions where you are left with only two options, either you can leave that question completely or you can apply some more brain and try to give your best shot in selecting one of those two options you are remaining with, right? So in verbal, I usually used to take a shot at those questions. But when it comes to Cont, LRDI, I used to avoid those questions. So it has to be a mix of attempts versus accuracy. If you have 80% accuracy in a section, try to go for a higher attempt. If you have a 90% accuracy or above in a section, try to focus more on getting the questions right. But if you find a section where your accuracy is less, there you should increase your attempts so that your marks are increasing. Did that answer your question, Varun? Okay, coming to Shashank. Shashank, you can make up for the absence of work experience by doing some certification, by doing some internships. That is how it is. We are going to roll out our internships today evening. We rolled them out last year as well. So if you want, you can apply for our internships as well, just as a CV point if you want to show. And those will, so all those things are there. So internship, certifications, these are the two best ways to make up for the absence of work experience. Thirdly, you can also work for some NGO. Roger, what do you want me to share? Yes, I will be. Okay? So I think the session was of some use. Do you think some of your areas have been addressed? Can I say that all of you are right now having that energy, having that focus, and are not going to care about Sharma auntie or Pados wali auntie? Surya, this is something which is going to happen in the first session of Cont. Yes, I will be uploading this class immediately. Sandeep, sorry, any damn auntie. Right? And yes, please, 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 whenever you feel demotivated, you can go for songs. Projal, thanks for reminding me. I used to hear Lakshya title track. It used to inspire me a lot whenever I used to feel demotivated. Then there's a song from Chak De now. But Lakshya's song still, if you ask me, it remains the best motivating song. The Lakshya title track. It motivates me even today like anything. Yes, that Brother Anthem is also good. So there are always certain songs which can motivate you. Always keep those songs handy with you. If you like a song, if you think that there's a particular song which motivates you, there is no harm in listening to it every 2 days. Okay, and I'll be uploading the recording of this session immediately. And if you want, I will share a list of 7-8 songs with all of you. See, if you are a person who loves setting some good materialistic goals, also then you should go and hear Punjabi songs. They will start off with Jaguar, and be there and make you realize the importance of having Jaguar in your life, for which you need to do MBA. No, this is a beauty of Punjabi songs. I love them because they motivate me in this way. If you think that you are not aware of a certain premium, a very, very, very premium car brand, go and check out Punjabi songs. Yes, Amarji. Right. Great. Okay, so we will end the session today. I hope I was able to infuse some energy in you, and after this session you will feel much more positive while preparing for CAT. And rest, if anything bogs you, you know where to buzz me. Great. So thank you for joining. Thank you. Have a good Sunday evening. Bye bye.